Hi, and welcome back to the Savvy Psychologist Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Ellen Hendrickson, and every week I'll help you meet life's challenges with evidence-based research, a sympathetic ear, and zero judgment. Why are Americans so tired? Well, aside from hoping sleep can be replaced by a non-fat double latte, there are lots of sneaky culprits that steal our shut-eye. We covered 7 surprising reasons in the episode Why Am I So Tired? But they don't stop there. Here are 4 more things that may be sabotaging your sleep. Reason number 1, sleeping in. What? Well, it's counterintuitive, but true. Sleeping in can actually make you feel more tired. Why? Well, the answer lies in your circadian rhythms. If you have a job with set hours, you probably wake up at the same time every day during the week. On the weekends, though, you may relish the chance to get a few more hours of shut-eye. However, from plants to animals to bacteria, all living things follow a built-in daily rhythm, and your body is no different. Its circadian rhythms follow a 24-hour cycle, so your body temperature, metabolism, and levels of hormones like cortisol and melatonin ebb and flow. And these rhythms are controlled internally by groups of cells in your hypothalamus, but they also take cues from the external environment, especially daylight. So, by sleeping in on Saturday morning, you inadvertently throw off your rhythms, which makes you feel jet-lagged, groggy, unable to concentrate, not to mention grumpy. And we won't even get into the GI symptoms, but suffice it to say, your gut hates it when you sleep in. So, what can you do instead? Well, scrape yourself out of bed at your usual time, but later in the morning or in the early afternoon, treat yourself to a short nap, or even 2, as long as they're less than 45 minutes each. So those will refresh you without making you feel hungover. Why less than 45 minutes? That's about how long it takes to get into the deeper, more restorative phases of sleep, including REM. So a shorter snooze will keep you in the early stages of sleep and won't disrupt your circadian rhythms, unlike sleeping in. Reason number 2, interrupted sleep. Anyone who's ever had a newborn can tell you that interrupted sleep can feel as bad as pulling an all-nighter. And you'd think that getting woken up for a few minutes here and there wouldn't amount to much, but a 2014 study in the journal Sleep Medicine found that participants whose otherwise good night's sleep was interrupted 4 times for 10 to 15 minutes at a stretch were just as cranky, unmotivated, and spacey as participants whose sleep was restricted to just 4 hours. And notably, small creatures not of the human variety are major culprits for interrupting your sleep multiple times a night. Cats and dogs inevitably choose 4 a.m. as the time to meow for breakfast or bark as if there's a ninja breaking into your house. But no matter who's waking you up repeatedly, know that when sleep gets interrupted, you lose a lot more than those few minutes you spend shooing the cat out of the room or settling the baby. Reason number 3, electronics. Reading in bed has helped people wind down and fall asleep for centuries. But this century, technology is keeping us awake. The shortwave blue light emitted by our laptops, tablets, and phones suppress melatonin, the hormone that makes us sleepy. So, in an eye-opening, 2014 study in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, a group of participants read a book before going to bed for 5 consecutive evenings, while another group read on an iPad. After those 5 initial nights, they switched places for 5 more nights. What happened? Well, those who read on the iPad produced an average of 55% less melatonin than the book readers, took 10 minutes longer to fall asleep, and had significantly less REM sleep throughout the night. Worse, iPad readers woke up feeling sleepier than the book readers and took hours, that's hours, to attain the same level of alertness as the book readers. But melatonin suppression isn't just limited to the iPad. In particular, many trauma survivors sleep with the TV on. They say it provides comforting background noise and makes them feel safer. But TVs emit the same blue light. So if you prefer background noise during the night, consider a white noise machine or leaving the radio on at low volume, but ditch the TV, iPad, and other light-emitting devices. Reason number 4, not exercising. We've all heard that sitting is the new smoking, but it turns out that a sedentary lifestyle isn't just bad for your health, it's also bad for your sleep, especially as you age. A 2012 study in the Journal of Physiotherapy aggregated 6 different studies of adults aged 40 and over with sleep problems. In each of the studies, some participants were asked to start an exercise program, while others were allowed to remain on the couch. After a few months, the exercisers found they fell asleep faster, had better quality sleep, and needed less sleep medication. In sum, good sleep is both the cause and effect of a healthy lifestyle, and it can be hard to prioritize exercise and sleep in a 24/7 culture, but at least now you have backed by research permission to turn off your work email and take a nap. If The Savvy Psychologist makes your life happier or healthier, let me know by liking on Facebook, subscribing to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud, or subscribing to the biweekly newsletter at quickanddirtytips.com/newsletters. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Dr. Ellen Hendrickson, and a transcript of this and every other episode, as well as links to the studies I mentioned, are always available on quickanddirtytips.com/savvy-psychologist. And of course, The Savvy Psychologist is strictly for informational purposes and doesn't substitute for mental health care from a licensed professional. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week for a happier, healthier mind.